Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned education, because there are a couple education stories in the state that I wanted to talk about this week. So, um, Indianapolis Public Schools on Friday opposed any plan to create a future all charter school system in the district in a letter to the Indianapolis Local Education Alliance. If you recall, this ILEA was state mandated group meant to sort of reform and merge and get the city's public schools and charter schools all working together. In this letter from the 7-member school board is a litany of requests from to the ILEA, signed by all 7 board members. It is the first public list of requests the board has made to the group. Now, the IPS board said in its statement it rejects the notion that a shift to an all charter system is the solution for education in our community. Derek, it seems to me that the folks in Indianapolis are finally growing a spine and pushing against this charterization of IPS schools.
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, IPS has already lost plenty of high schools to the charter system. And I mean, I think they're down to what, 3 high schools now? Tech, Washington, and Howe, I believe, are the last 3. So yeah, I'm glad they're finally growing a spine.
And we will keep an eye on this one for sure. Obviously, as the state's largest and most diverse school system, IPS is always going to come under threat from the Republicans at the State House. Another thing, coming under threat from Republicans at the State House are our school teachers' rights to have free speech in their time off. If you recall, after the Charlie Kirk assassination a couple weeks ago, there was much consternation from Braun and many Rokita, especially with threats to fire public school teachers who they said were glorifying political violence, when in fact all they were really doing was maybe quoting Charlie Kirk's actual words verbatim, or saying or pointing out the irony in somebody who fomented political violence being the victim of it, which by my count is not the same as supporting political violence. But I did want to point out, we saw from Chalkbeat, Indiana this week that 2 weeks after this, the full impact of Braun and Rokita's calls for firing or license revocation, they remain unclear, but no cases have been filed to revoke a teacher's license, and any school board meetings where teacher statements were in the spotlight have remained mostly tame. Blythe, it seems like, I guess that's a good thing. The initial fury over that incident is sort of petering out, and there won't be any long-term effects for our public school teachers? Or am I getting my hopes up?
It's just part of their cycle. I mean, we, as opposition, not necessarily liberals, because not everyone opposing this is liberal, we are shamed and mistreated and threatened anytime we have an opinion. And most of these teachers, what they said was not wrong. It was like, did we hear what Charlie was saying? Like, this is irony. This is his words haunting him, literally. And that type of fear going forward, especially for teachers, this isn't the first time Rokita's gone after teachers. And because he did it with teachers who were supporting the LGBTQ plus community with rainbow flags, like, it is constant. They are looking for any reason possible to have us be on the defense and be literally and figuratively attacked. So while it may have calmed down, like the implications to these personal lives and professional lives of these teachers, the damage is done. Like you don't, it's like the Monica Lewinsky effect. She was the one blamed for their consensual affair. Make it make sense. Like, so it's just, yeah, she's still dealing with it. So these teachers, the damage is done. I know the woman from Ball State got, I believe, professor got her job back and is also maybe suing or was. I would need to fact check that. There's always so much
She
news to
was
remember.
support staff. She wasn't a professor, but yeah,
Oh,
that is ongoing. Yeah.
Oh, she was a social worker or something, right?
Yeah,
I can't
something
remember.
like
But
that.
in any event, it's not over. Like the news might be over it, social media might be over it, but I would love to hear from these people who were on the receiving end of this, if they were brave enough to speak out, like to tell their story. How is this affecting you still? Because I guarantee you it is. The teachers with the rainbow flags, it is still affecting them. It
Yeah,
happens in
Rokita
Center
still has
Grove.
his. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is a terrorist. This is domestic terrorism. Why are we not calling it this? Todd Rokita does not care for Hoosiers. Todd Rokita is the villain. Todd Rokita needs to go. He is completely demolishing his oath to the law, demolishing his oath to our state and our constitution. He is a horrible human being. And anyone who
Yeah.
supports him, they are also horrible.
Yeah, Todd Rokita is a radical far right ultra like Catholic extremist, and I urge our American Pope to excommunicate him. Not that he's listening to me. So
Hey, you
I
never
want
know, man. It's worth trying.
And
I want
I
to.
believe it's pronounced da Pope.
Da Pope. I want to stay on higher education and look at a couple things. Charles, you brought this up earlier, and I wanted to bring it back to you. So you mentioned this $35 million Purdue college prep program that the administration has canceled. So this from WFYI, Public Media in Indianapolis. Purdue University will abruptly end a statewide initiative to help more than 13,000 low-income Indiana students go to college after it was targeted in the Trump administration's campaign against diversity, equity, and inclusion. The administration canceled this nearly $35 million federal grant to Purdue for Gear Up. That's the name of the program. Sounds like a acronym. I'm not going to figure out what it is, but it was a federally funded program to boost college readiness and access, providing after-school mentoring and college prep programs in 10 districts across the state. It will shut down Tuesday. This grant was just awarded last year and was expected to run through 2031, according to a press release from Purdue's College of Education. It was the sixth largest federal grant in university history, the release said. So, Charles, what do you think here? What are your thoughts on this? Attack on Indiana higher education, an attack on students in from less privileged backgrounds getting a chance to attend one of the great public universities in our country. And I'm saying that as an IU grad.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, I was about to say that you may have to take a little time to recover from that one.
Whoa, what?
Don't
Don't get me started on Ohio State, though. All right.
We're gonna leave that one aside. So this one hits kind of close to me because I in my professional life I'm working towards we have a dwindling workforce in water and wastewater, and one of these things that we're trying to do is establish pipelines for kids to pursue these avenues that are out there. And this Purdue program would have, it helps people along those ways that wouldn't have had access to these opportunities previously, just due to circumstance beyond their control. I mean, a lot of these kids that are in these programs are absolutely fabulous minds. I mean, they have some of the greatest ideas. They come up with, I mean, just things that and I hate to put myself in this bracket, the older generation now, I guess, that we're not thinking. They're thinking outside the box. They're coming up with really, I mean, just fabulous stuff. And yet now this opportunity has been yanked out of their, yanked away from them for no reason. Period. other than it hurts somebody's feelings. And and this demonization of the idea of diversity, equity, inclusion. Let me tell you, as a veteran, absolutely, we are absolutely benefits of that program. Okay,
Mhm.
each every physically challenged individual in our state absolutely benefit from that type of idea. ADA compliance. Sorry to tell you, that's DAI. Okay, and then what are you going to do? Start taking away ramps and elevators for people to get up and down and things? And that's exactly what they did in education. They took away an elevator or a ramp for these folks to contribute positively in our future.
That's
And
a good metaphor.
again, it just absolutely goes counterintuitive to everything we're supposed to stand for as a country. Because what do we say at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance? Justice or liberty and justice for all. Sorry, that don't apply if you don't happen to meet the requirements. So sorry, I
And
may have went on.
no, you're 100%, and it's like we talked about earlier. By failing to bring in diverse voices, we're really shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, the thing is that, like, we don't know a lot of folks from privileged backgrounds. They don't know what they don't know. And when you give people with diverse backgrounds and points of view and opportunity, they're gonna look at problems that we've been unable to solve for generations through different lenses. And that's how we make progress as a society. This crap is just putting us backwards. It is just cementing the old white moneyed class in place further. And Purdue, they're getting theirs, and they're not alone in Indiana. IU, my alma mater, is also uh, being harmed by these policies as well. We saw a couple stories this week on that end from Mirror Indy. They're researchers from the IU School of Medicine. They had submitted a grant to the NIH to study and treat childhood urinary tract inventions, which may be a precursor to one of the deadliest diseases in the state. Their project scored well in the competitive application process. Any other year, it would be a no-brainer. But again, it's 2025, and Donald Trump's administration has gutted the NIH, slashing the largest public funder of medical research in the world, including grants and projects that focus on the health of racial minorities, women, and LGBTQ people, and also pediatric cancer, which is another project at IU that has come under attack. So we got the one for the childhood urinary tract infections, and then another grant was canceled as well. This is from the Elon Musk Doge thing. You guys remember that? Weren't they supposed to save us a bunch of money? Yeah, it wound up costing more money than it saved. But
What happens when
so
you take a chainsaw
I
when you get
use
scalpel?
Simon. Yeah, I use Comprehensive Cancer Center supports nearly 250 researchers conducting research on all phases of the cancer spectrum. In 2018, the center managed 380 clinical trials. In 2023, they received more than $243 million from the NIH. And, by this year, all of that is under threat, for medical researchers at IU, Purdue, and Notre Dame. This dismantling at the NIH has meant an abrupt loss of total between the three institutions of over $24.5 million. So, you guys like being sick? Big fan of that. Childhood cancer, huh? Everybody loves childhood cancer. Of all the things you'd think we could agree need research, that we could childhood cancer. My God, man. Um,
No,
Eric,
no
thoughts?
child should have to suffer on that. It should no one should have to suffer that period, but especially children.
Yeah.
They are our future, and if we don't invest in our future, what are we doing? I'm just make it make sense.